Welcome to the Conversations Across the Grand Canyon podcast, aka The Big Gap. Here, our purpose will be to explore the impacts of social, political, and economic issues through the lens of generational and cultural differences. Good day, Motor Georgia. Welcome to another episode of the Big Gap podcast. I'm your host, Big Al Perry, also known as the Sonic Boomer.
Okay, Boomer. Okay.
On August 18th, I attended the 35th annual celebration of uh, the Black Pages publication. Of course, many of you know the publisher of that publication is Alex C. Habersham, long well known in the Middle Georgia area, but especially the city of Macon and Bibb County. I had forgotten. Well, whenever I hear the last name Habersham, the first thing that comes to mind for me is Habersham Records. And I had forgotten that Alex was an educator in the public school system in Bibb County. When I was a student at Ballard Hudson, where he taught, he also taught at Lanier, and my last year of school was at Central, and he was also there. But I had forgotten it, I guess, because I had never attended a class of his. But he was, like I said, a longtime educator in Bibb County. But I always thought of him more as, I guess, as an adult, was kind of like a community organizer. He was always heavily involved with things in the community, speaking out on issues with education within the political spectrum, especially social issues. And so I always, kind of had him in, that was the image I always had of him. I had forgotten about his background as an educator. But anyway, I attended that celebration, that event that was held at the Tubman Museum. And the theme of the night was honoring our past and empowering our future. Alex has always been heavily involved with empowering the Black community, circulating the wealth of Macon's Black population amongst, businesses that were owned and operated by African Americans. But even with that being said, he was always concerned and worked toward enriching the entire community. That was one of his great strengths and what has made him very, very well liked, very respected by so many of the citizens of Macon Bibb County, indeed, of the entire Middle Georgia region. So I'm going to play a recording of the event, and I'll make comments. I hope the recording is well enough for people to be able to hear it and understand it. But I'll make comments on the speakers that are making comments and honoring Alex and some of the keynote speakers while I was there. And so we'll get started with that. The host of the event was Al Tillman. Some of you may remember that Al Tillman is an ex-Bibb County commissioner. The event was well attended. There were many dignitaries, local politicians. Mr. Tillman will mention some of them. But Mayor Lester Miller was there. Mayor Ronna Robbins, LaRonda Patrick, former Mayor C. Jack Ellis, many of the county commissioners. Alex has been introduced and he's speaking. And I apologize again for the quality of the recording. He's trying to get the crowd to settle down and be quiet so his remarks can be heard. As you'll hear, it takes him a little bit of time to get that accomplished. But he was persistent. He's telling or informing the audience to, or requesting members of the audience to tell the people to either side of them to tell them to be quiet. One of the keynote speakers was Norm Nixon, of course. He's the local sports hero. Played under Doug Richardson, won championships at Southwest, went on to a very uh, prominent, significant college and pro career.
So thank you for coming. And at this time, I'm going to turn it over. You all can continue to eat, but do me a favor. I asked these people about 6 weeks ago if they would participate in this anniversary. And, you know, I think
Other prominent politicians that were in the audience was Sanford Bishop,
and give them our attention. Take it away there.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, the publisher, 35 years.
the black woman mayor of Milledgeville, was also supposed to be a speaker. She wasn't able to make it, so her chief administrative assistant spoke in her absence. And in her own right, she, based on her comments and remarks, she seems to be a very impressive lady in her own right.
And anytime he's in the building, I always want to acknowledge him. And it goes all the way back to when I was in the 2nd grade. And he was my principal at Matilda Harbor. Mr. Tompkins is in the building. Mr. Tompkins, will you stand? 2nd grade principal at Matilda Harbor. And he's serving on the Baby Training Authority.
Al Tillman is honoring one of his educational heroes. And when he was in school, his elementary school teacher and principal, I think his name was Mr. Tompkins. But there seem to be a lot of very retired educators in the audience. Other attendees of the event were Jessica Walden, who is the president of the Macon Chamber of Commerce, and Keith Moffitt, the county manager here in Macon-Bibb. Well, in Macon-Bibb, I reside in Twiggs County.
This is who I come to hear.
All of us here to show love to the man of the hour, Mr. Habersham, wherever you went. Where did you go? There you are. Yes, it's a pleasure to be here today to celebrate this occasion. 35
This is the very honorable mayor of Warner Robins, LaRonda Patrick.
across the state, and dare I say the region. So Mr. Habersham is a man of powerful impact in Middle Georgia and beyond. He's a man with many accolades across 3 decades, no identity I arrived at myself. And he has gone above and beyond, advocating for regionalism, as well as entrepreneurship and generational success in the Black community. Everybody knows Mr. Habersham. Even when I go to events outside of the state in my job, I hear his name, and that's happened twice.
She's talking about how she's traveled in her role as mayor. She's heard Alex Habersham's name mentioned in circles that are kind of far outside the middle Georgia area. So she's commenting that his influence has been widespread, and the respect for his leadership and for advocating for black businesses is spread far beyond the state of Georgia.
He was adamant about reaching across the county lines, across the state lines, to come and hear from me. He invited me in to make it down with open arms.
Mayor Patrick is also extolling his enthusiasm for regionalism. It's okay to advocate for your town, your city, but there are times when you need to reach across city, county lines and collaborate and cooperate in order to bring business development to the area, the middle Georgia area.
And I am so proud of all the accomplishments you made, Mr. Habersham. I do have a proclamation.
I will be talking a little bit more about that issue, that concept at the end of the recording.
But it is extremely important. And it comes from me and my 6 brothers who serve in the city council. But I'll just say this. Under the leadership vision of Mr. Alex Habersham, the Black Pages has established itself as a vital, important source, encouraging individuals and communities to support the business founded in the pages and contribute directly to the social, spiritual, educational, and economic well-being of the region. His dedication to the Native community and beyond has garnered him respect as well as a host of awards over the years. And that is a way to sum up the impact, importance, and power of this man. So, Mr. Habersham, congratulations on 35 magnificent, impactful, and enduring years that you have given to your baby, the middle Georgia, Black Pages, and to Mrs. Habersham, the Queen, as the wind beneath your wings. Thank you for sticking with him and sharing this powerful force throughout the state of Georgia. Congratulations.
So yes, it wasn't too long after Mayor Patrick spoke that I had to leave the event. There were many other speakers. Well, there was some other speakers that I didn't get a chance to hear, but I was able to, before I actually left, the mayor of Milledgeville, Mary Parham Copeland. Like I said, she wasn't able to make it, but I stayed long enough to hear her chief administrative assistant, I guess, or would be her title. She spoke in her stead and spoke very eloquently about some of the same things that Mayor Patrick talked about. And Mayor Patrick, she talked about the importance of regionalism. And that was something that Mr. Habersham has always advocated for. Thinking outside your own little box, realizing that economic opportunity and you can share the wealth. We all see this in the Warner Robins Air Force Base. True, it's in Houston County. True, Warner Robins gets a lot of the benefit of the base, but so does the entire Middle Georgia area. Indeed, the entire state of Georgia benefits from the economic impact of the base. There's probably thousands of employees of Robbins reside in Bibb County, reside in Crawford County, reside in Peach County. I mean, probably as far south as Macon County, maybe even further south than that. So the concept of regionalism is one that we should embrace and try to foster. You know, I go back to the administration of Robert Reichert, the mayor of Macon, former mayor of Macon. He was another person that saw the benefits of regionalism. You know, Mayor Reichert, he was one of the he was one of the, I guess you could say, one of the pioneers that highlighted the benefits of implementing, local option sales taxes and using those taxes to pay for infrastructure improvements. And he was doing all of this while at the same time trying to consolidate the city of Macon and the Bibb County governments. And then he was finally able to succeed, and he used those local option sales taxes. He was able to get them to the voters of Bibb County to improve those taxes, and he went a long way towards helping get the consolidated government, you know, off the ground and running efficiently while making improvements without having to spend a whole lot of the county budget or city budget. And I remember it might have been late in his last term. I can't remember exactly what year it was, but he tried to get a regional T-SPLOST transportation special option sales tax. And he was able to get the county governments to vote on that referendum. It was Macon, Twiggs, Peach, Crawford. I'm trying to think. Dodge, maybe, and Bleckley. It was probably 6 counties. And he wanted to get the citizens of each of those counties to vote on this tax. And if improved, they would get a share of the tax based on their county's population to improve transportation projects in each county. The stickler was that each county, it was all or nothing. Each county had to improve it in order for it to to pass, to become law. And every county improved it except one. And at that time, that holdout was the citizens of Houston County. And I live in a rural county, Twiggs County. And we are here in Twiggs, we were struggling. We don't have a large amount of development to supplement our tax base in order to pay for large projects like that. So it would have been a benefit to us. I think Bleckley County would have been the same. Dodge County, Wilkinson County, whatever the 6 or 7 counties that were involved in that referendum at the time. And here, Houston County, doing well. Got the base, got the, well, it was just disappointing that that one holdout collapsed that house of cards. And I remember thinking to myself, man, I was kind of PO'd with the citizens of Houston at the time. Because, you know, Houston County got a lot going for it. Like I said, there's the base. They've got tremendous commercial infrastructure, a commercial tax base. There's a lot of businesses and restaurants and in Houston County that me and my family we just love to go to places and barbecue joints, Chinese restaurants, and other national chains that they have that even Macon doesn't have. So when they turned down that referendum, and then everybody, the whole coalition of counties that were hoping for passage of that sales tax option, it was a bit of a letdown, and I even got to the point where I kind of boycotted and refused to go to Warner Robins to, those favorite restaurants and things that I had once did. So, but regionalism is coming back, and it's gaining momentum because I don't know whether it's a newer generation of voters in Houston County, but we are now seeing the benefits of regionalism. I was just at a county commission meeting yesterday, and one of the speakers at our commission meeting was Mr. Terry Coleman. Mr. Coleman was once the Speaker of the House in the Georgia legislature. I think he retired from the legislature in 2007, 2008 maybe, and he has become a lobbyist and a government relations consultant. So he helps counties navigate and lobby for their concerns and issues that they would like to get across to the General Assembly, and help them, find grant money and even help them write grants to help, the smaller, maybe more underfunded counties in the state. But anyway, he was there, and what he was talking about was regionalism. And one of the things that he was talking about was setting up regional conservation and development districts where neighboring counties can pool their resources to attract development. We've recently just had something along that line occur here locally, in which Bibb County, Peach County, and Houston County, they have used their conservation and development district, or they formed and founded one in which they are going to, well, they have pooled, let's say, I think it was reported like $21 million to improve a site that's going to be called the Middle Georgia Mega Site. And it's a 1,500 acre industrial site. Uh, those three counties and that $21 million that they equally shared is going to develop the site, water, sewer, power, and they're going to market it, and hopefully they're going to bring maybe an auto manufacturer, or well, there's a lot of controversy about data centers at the moment, but something large uh, that's going to employ not just hundreds but thousands of people. So yes, regionalism is something that the smaller counties can do. Uh, Here in Twiggs, maybe Twiggs, Wilkinson, and Bleckley counties, we can find a suitable site to develop in one of the counties, and all three counties can do what Bibb, Teach, and Houston are doing. So, regional aspects to economic development uh, could be worthwhile and profitable. And I think it's something that should be encouraged. And anybody who, like myself, lives in a smaller county, maybe something, you can contact Mr. Coleman, Terry Coleman. I think he belongs to an organization that I can't think of the name of it. But anyway, Google, that's one way to do it. Google Terry Coleman, and I think that that organization that he's with will come up and have contact information. So if you are civic minded and you attend your county commission meetings, and uh, maybe worthwhile to bring up a regional development district idea to your commissioners, and you certainly have an influential person in Mr. Coleman that could help you navigate and get you started off on the right foot. I certainly like the idea of it, and it, it may prove beneficial. So I think I'll probably end this episode right here. And again, wish all my listeners uh, a good day. Have a good weekend. And as always, I like to end by hoping that everyone stays healthy and happy and engaged in your counties or your cities' political affairs and civic affairs and social affairs. So with that, I'll sign off. And until the next time, take care. Thank you.